Hi, I'm Nathaniel, Cline, joined by Stephanie Kuzydym. We're both from the Northeast Ohio Media Group with this week's Top 25 Girls Basketball Poll. Stephanie, first of all, how are you?
Just trying to stay warm in the weather again.
We were looking at the top 25 this week, and 4 moves came to mind, and we'll start from the top and work our way down.
Okay.
Let's start with Magnificat. I know they were in the top 3. They're still in the top 3, but they moved down a spot.
Yeah, so yes, they did beat Solon earlier in the year. But within the last month, they've had 2 wins that were only by a point over a Walsh Jesuit team that didn't have Lily Piper. And you may have noticed Lily Piper's back and just beat Hoban by, I think, like 35 or 25, something really big. So she's a big contributor on that team. And then on Monday night, Magnificat beat Berea Mid-Park only by 1. So it's just and these aren't games that they're last second. They're coming down to the final second. So it's just something that I don't really know what's going on with Magnificat right now. We're hearing that we weren't at the game last night. Neither of us could make it, but hearing that it just really wasn't a pretty game at all on Magnificat's end. So we just, yes, they did beat Solon earlier in the year, but like we said before, we're taking the whole year into account, just not the recent win or loss. Whole year into account, they're a top 3 team, but recently they're kind of shaky. So.
Okay. One of the other teams that's in this 4 that pointed out to me was Stow. Kind of talk about them in the last few weeks here.
Yeah, so kind of want to apologize to Stow. We had a computer glitch in which we didn't see one of their victories that they have, which was over a team in West Virginia. That was a big win. It's a team that beat East Tech by 5 points earlier in the year. And we just totally didn't even take it into account last week because we didn't even have it register. So that would have moved them up about the 16-18 range, and then they beat a Twinsburg team. Well, first off, they beat Massillon Jackson in overtime, and then they beat Twinsburg, who was ranked higher than them. But also Sam Shaver in that game was like unbelievable. So they're on a roll right now. They're winning. They're on a winning streak. So we just decided they deserve to be bumped up for sure.
Hathaway Brown, tell me about them.
Oh man, they're falling. Yes, we were saying it at the beginning of the year. They were playing good teams, and we were okay with that 5-5 record or 5-6 record, and then they lost to somebody in state at Classic in the Country, and then they turned around and lost to St. Vincent St. Mary, and I think it's honestly just a case of they have it there and they're just not putting it together. I don't think they're listening to their coach like they should be completely. It's still that they're young somewhat too. They're just, it's kind of frustrating to watch them because you can see that they have it. They're just not putting it all together. So.
And a team, lastly, the 4th team we were talking about, the team that jumped in last week has moved up 2 spots, Normandy. Tell me why. Okay,
well, actually, Normandy and Brunswick each moved up 1. I think Normandy went
with Beechwood falling down to 25.
So Beechwood fell to 25, Normandy went from 24 to 23, and Brunswick went from 25 to 24. So it's 23, 24, 25. Those 3 just kind of switched around because Normandy took Gilmore to overtime. First off, that's a Division I team versus Gilmore's Division III. So that's why they didn't shoot up in the poll. But that's the closest margin of victory that Gilmore has had all season. Before that, it was 12 points. This was 4 points. Gilmore sometimes just doesn't play like a Division III team either with having Naz and Emily. So that's why Normandy moves up. Brunswick also moves up because they took Berea Mid-Park down to 3 points earlier. I think it was, last week, obviously. So it's just kind of lower ranked teams having very close wins or very close losses against higher ranked teams. And these are like significantly higher. And it's not that Beechwood really has done anything wrong, but they didn't play anybody last week. So, well, they did, but I mean, they obviously had 2 games, but not against ranked opponents. That's what I mean.
Magnificat, Stow, Hathaway Brown, and Normandy were four big moves that kind of stood out to me. And thank you again for taking the time to chat with us about that. If you have any comments that you'd like to leave in the comment section, you're welcome to do that at the bottom of the post. Or if you want to tweet us at NEO Varsity, you're welcome to do that. So again, from Stephanie Kuzydym and myself, thanks again for joining us for the Top 25 Girls Basketball Poll.